If you love God, love people, and love real estate, you guys are in the right place. My name is Forston, and I'm super excited that you guys are here. Some people call me Mr. ILF, but nevertheless, thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Put in the chat, let us know where you guys are from. And also, can two or three of y'all let me know if you can hear me loud and clear? Let's do that really quickly. And again, man, you guys got a lot of choices of where you could be, but y'all chose to be here. And I appreciate that. Also, if you're here, you probably love God, you love people, and you've been trying to get into real estate. On this channel, we teach people how to start their own independent living facility, which is an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. And as I said, I'm you guys' host tonight. My wife is taking a little break tonight, so it's just going to be me. And tonight's topic is going to be shared rooms or private rooms, right? How do you make that decision? What is a shared room? What is a private room? What does it look like? Who is it for? How do you offer it? And also, who can afford it, right? So before we get too far, again, y'all let me know in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. Sometimes I come in here running my big mouth, and y'all can't hear a word I'm saying because I hadn't hit that mute button. So somebody let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. And then right after that, you guys can go ahead and put in the chat, where are you from? Where are you guys located, city and state? Let me know that. And then we're going to jump right into the material tonight because I want to talk about, should you be offering private rooms? Should you be offering shared rooms, right? Or should you maybe offer a mixture of both, right? Does that make sense to anybody that you may offer both? So put in the chat, let me know where you guys are joining from, and then I'm going to bring up some of my slides, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're talking about tonight. And again, for my people that may be new to us, I'm your new big brother. So if you're new to me, also put in the chat the word new. I am your new big brother, just as sure as you're trying to get into real estate, shared housing, ILFs, and to show the love of God through real estate. If that's your desire, I'm your new big brother. Put in the chat because I don't see nobody say nothing in the chat yet. Can y'all even hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear. All right, Jermaine says that he can hear me loud and clear. Jermaine can hear me loud and clear. So also there was a question that came in and stated, should we do a one story or a two story? That's also a personal preference. And I'm going to talk about both in terms of which one should you be. So in fact, I'm going to jump to that now. So I'm showing some pictures now of some ILFs, some big ones like this one, some smaller ones like that one, some gigantic ones like this one, but also some normal size 3-bed, 2-bath, just like this one. Right. But if you all have ever heard me say it before, my favorite model is actually that 4-bed, 2-bath model, which is this house right here. So 4 beds, 2-bath is what's going to allow me to take 8 people from homeless to hopeful. We also can do these in mobile homes, right? So most of the time, the mobile home needs to sit on its own piece of land. But every now and again, you guys may find a mobile home park that actually may allow you to do this in their park. But my disclaimer for that is that usually when you find one of these in a mobile home park, they want you to actually to live in it. Mobile home parks are not like super big on you, like trying to do this inside of a park. They rather you be the tenant. Does that make sense, everybody? But every now and again, I've even showed those on my YouTube channel where I'm driving up to these parks and talking to these owners, and they're letting me do this inside of their park because quite frankly, sometimes they don't care what you do, right? As long as you pay the lot rent. So a lot of times when you guys get into these mobile homes, right, they're going to be inside of these parks and they charge something that what we call lot rent, right? And that means that if the mobile home is $8,000, even though when you pay the mobile home off at $8,000, you still owe that $600 of lot rent every month. So lot rent just simply allows you to have your mobile home on their dirt. And that's why a real big play of what this is also maybe one day you owning a mobile home park or owning the pads in the land so that you can charge people to sit their mobile home on your lot. So I hope that makes sense. So is there anybody that's new to us today, or is everybody here pretty much family? I see some people in here from Fayetteville, Georgia. I see Miss Tia here. I see Alicia Hill here. I see Jermaine here. Where are you guys located, city and state? Are you guys near mobile homes? Mobile home parks. Is mobile homes a thing where you're at? I know where Jermaine is at over in South Carolina. They're real big on doing this inside of a mobile home park, right? But most of us do this in a regular residential property. So for my new people, like who's the ATL 000, for my new people like you, like don't know have any clue who I am, right? I used to be a social worker wanting to get into something just like this. And God messed around and showed me a lady, y'all, that was making 41 grand a month doing this. And the crazy part was that she was doing it like rats and roaches. And when I found out about that, right, here goes me as that social worker. And when I found out that the lady that literally was living my dream was doing this the wrong way, housing people in roaches and in rats, I just simply said, man, how can I get into this and do it the right way? So many years ago, man, I got into this, and eventually I left my job, partly because I got tired of being part of the problem. I wanted to be part of the solution. 5 of y'all put in the chat, I want to be part of the solution, Derek, when it comes to affordable housing. So when I saw the rats, the roaches, the filth and the grime and these nasty pictures that y'all see, I just simply said to myself, like, why not me, but do it the right way? So if you new to me, these are the conditions that drove me to get into this. For one, I loved real estate, or I knew that if I got into real estate, that would bring generational wealth. I also knew that if I was to help people, right, with this real estate, it was kind of like me having a ministry. Because not that Derek said it, but the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. And it also says that when you do unto the least of thee, it's like you're doing it unto God. So when I saw these bad conditions, I was just simply like, man, why not me? And when that lady showed me that she was making $41,000 a month, I nearly fainted. Because y'all, I was making 28 grand a year. Like, I don't hide that. Most of my life, I have not had enough, right? But when God showed me this ministry and he showed me somebody that was doing it the wrong way, and I'll admit, when that lady showed me $41,000 a month, I was like, wow. Like, how many of y'all would like be blowed and it would change your life if you made $41,000 a month? Now, some of y'all, if you made 41 grand one time in a month, that would change your life. But Jermaine, you've heard me ask people this, big bro. Like, how many of y'all, by putting the number 1 in the chat, if you made $41,000 every 30 days of your life and you were doing something good, like helping people that would otherwise would be living in rats and roaches or in the woods or outside, like, put a number 1 in the chat if that would change your life if you made 41 grand a month. So I don't know how you guys are made up. I don't know y'all makeup, but me, I don't need to be convinced once I see something that's powerful, it works, it helps people, and it pleases God. Now, I'm no preacher, I'm no pastor, I'm no bishop, but we do love God and we love people, and we love real estate. And when I found out that if I can do God's will, help people, be respected by the community, but ATL 000, you know what my 4th one is? I want you to make enough money to feed your family. Now, if you agree with that, also put a number 1 in the chat. Tess, like I tell people this all the time. Whatever I'm doing in terms of a business or a ministry, I want to be able to please God. Like when I started business, man, like, does this business please God? Is God happy with this? Me selling drugs, God ain't happy with that. Like all of these weird businesses that people get into that exploit people, take advantage of people, or it just don't serve nobody. I don't want a business like that. I want a business that God will ultimately be proud of and he's backing it. I also want to help people because that's in the Bible. And I also want my community to respect me while I'm doing it. And I usually stop and tell this story. 7, 8 years ago, y'all, nobody know who I was. I was a nobody in certain, situations and how people viewed me. Now, to God, I was somebody. To my family, I was everything. But to the general, just public, my community, nobody didn't know me. I was a nobody. But as soon as I started this business and this thing started to change the lives of people, that's what put us on the map. And not because I'm so great as in Derek, but the love of God we showed through this real estate play. Does that make sense? Because guys, you can start a real estate play doing Airbnb. That ain't really serving nobody. Oh, it kind of sort of is, but that's the vacationer, the person that's coming to have fun. I live in Florida. If you come to Florida, you come to Disney World, SeaWorld, Hollywood Studios, Universal. You coming to have fun, right? You're traveling. But the kind of housing I do is for this thing that'll never go away. It's for the poor, the needy, and the widow. And the guy that can't afford your high apartments in your city. The guy that can buy his own house. So one more time, when we're looking for a business, including this one, I want to please God. I want to help people. I want to be respected by the community, but I also want y'all to make enough money to feed your family. Does that make sense, everybody? Like if you would agree with that, put a number 1 in the chat, because I'll be honest, if you don't agree with that, I'm probably your wrong brother. Like, I'm not the YouTube channel for you, because no matter what we do, I want to please God. I want to help people. I want the community in which I'm doing it in to respect me while I'm doing it and don't bother me and leave me alone, because I'm the answer. Don't try to stop this good thing. And watch this. I ain't afraid to say this either. I want to make a bunch of money doing it. How can we build a kingdom and we got broke pockets? Building a kingdom also takes money. Does that make sense, everybody? So that's why I think this business is genius, because it serves so many things at once. It serves God and it serves a need that every one of y'all got in your city. So just gently type in the chat, y'all, right now. Where are you guys located? I'm in Florida. I'm in Orlando. I cover Orlando, Kissimmee, Apopka, Ocoee, Longwood, Maitland. Like, I can go on and on and on. Guys, I'm in Central Florida. So everybody put in the chat, where are you located right now? Whether you've gotten started or not, just speak in faith. What area, what city and state will you serve? I want to know that. What city and state will you serve? I'm going to take a really quick commercial break and we'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the information. If you want more information just like this, what you're hearing now, make sure you text the phrase more info and don't put it in the chat. Text it to this phone number. Text more info. That's MOREINFO to the phone number 407-326-0086. We're going to give you our complimentary webinar, and then that leads to a complimentary call with me and my team to talk about how fast can we get you started. Let's get back to the show. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So again, thank y'all so much for being here. I super appreciate it. If you're new to me, type the word new in the chat. I want to shout you out personally. If you're brand new to us, or if you family, put Derek, I'm family. I'm already your little sister, Derek. I'm already your brother. But if you're new to me, I want to shout you out. And I also want to share with you what made me leave my job is when I found out that a lady was sleeping on the kitchen floor. And your brother, me, sent that lady there. See, some coaches lie to you and won't tell you the truth, but y'all, I didn't know about it. As a social worker, I just worked behind a desk and I never saw the inside of a place, of an ILF or these group home as they called them. But when the lady that I was almost begging to teach this to me, when she said, Derek, I'll never teach you this. I was like, okay. I took a Saturday on my own, y'all, and I just went. And I went to place, because remember, I was the social worker, so I knew all the addresses of where these places were. And when I saw the conditions and the amount of people, 10, 14, 16 people in one house, in a 3-bed, 2-bath, and one of the bedrooms got a lock on the door. Guys, I saw some bad stuff. And it's the same lady that was making 41 grand a month doing it. And when I found that out, I said, man, I got to get out of here because I'm part of the problem now. When I went to one of those houses on my tour, I met a lady, I'll just call her Alice today. I said, Alice, what are you doing here? She's like, Derek, you serious? Like, you sent me here a couple of days ago, bro. And the crazy part about it, y'all, Alice was just actually grateful to be there. And this woman was sleeping on the kitchen floor in front of the kitchen stove. She had a 3-inch mat about 3 feet long. She said, Derek, this is where I sleep at. She said, Derek, look at all these people in here. Where else can I sleep? Ain't no room in the bedrooms. Guys, every bedroom was like stacked 3 high with mattresses. That stuff will break your heart. And I tell people all the time, if that don't break your heart, you on the wrong YouTube channel. If you want a channel where you can hear somebody making 41 grand a month, living the dream you always desired to do, but doing it the wrong way, and it don't bother you, I'm actually not your big brother. You on the wrong channel, because Your heart got to be in this. We're dealing with people that are already on the fringes of life. They've been through it all already. Our job is to provide a clean, safe environment. The devil is a liar. We're going to put this lady on the kitchen floor and call ourselves running a program. And what was so sad that that girl said it out her own mouth. She said, Dirk, at least I ain't got to sleep outside. Y'all, she was so glad to be in this place. Sleeping on the kitchen floor. Well, 5 of y'all type in the chat, Derek, I wouldn't do it this way. Like, how dare you make 41 grand a month and you put somebody on the kitchen floor? You couldn't just go and rent or lease another place and get that woman her own bed? Can 5 of no, can 10 of y'all put in the chat, Derek, I wouldn't do it like this. Have y'all ever seen somebody living your dream but doing it the wrong way? That's essentially what I saw, y'all. And I just simply said to him, I said, man, I got to take action. And I like to do these little acronyms every now and again. Action for me means the A means act. Do something every day towards your goal. Pray, talk to God, tell him what you want to do. Pretend God don't even know about it. Say, God, you know what? I really want to get into this housing thing. I don't know what I'm doing, but you led me to this big mouth boy named Derek on YouTube, and he seemed to give the game away. So, guys, you got to do something every day. Be doing research on how to connect with social workers and case managers. Join my $5 group where I give the sauce from my master classes. The C stands for continue. Persist in spite of difficulty, opposition, or failure. Guys, a lot of y'all, 85% of y'all going to get into this and it's not going to be smooth sailing from day one. 15% of y'all going to get this and say, man, this is really easy. But let me just tell you, 85% of y'all, meaning you that's watching right now, you're going to run into some bumps, some bruises, some mistakes. Life, L-I-F-E, going to hit you in the face. Some of us lose family members. People pass away. People get sick. It's called life. Your city going to come up against you. Guys, when you're doing something truly meaningful, ask Katara Johnson. KJ, tell these people when you're doing something truly meaningful, the devil gonna fight that. I just left our church conference this past week, and one of the pastors preached one night and said that if the devil ain't fighting you, your life is really smooth. You need to check yourself. That means you probably ain't doing nothing that's threatening, like, to that dark world. If you're shining light and doing positive, the devil trying to find you and fight you. That's normal for us people that are in purpose. If you ain't in purpose, your life probably really smooth right now. You're not experiencing no bumps or bruises. So persist in spite of it getting tough, it getting hard, or people telling you you can't do this. T means train, never stop learning. Guys, I'm live here 7 days a week. 3 times a day. 7A, 7P, 11P. Guys, I'm hard to miss on this social media streets. So 7, 7, 11. In fact, Katara, one of the phrases for our conference was, it's worth fighting for. Can 5 of y'all write that in the chat? I just left our church conference and the title was, or the subtitle, it's worth fighting for. Katara, I was making 28 grand a year, struggling to feed my family. In fact, my wife was the breadwinner, if you want to be real about it. But how about that phrase I just told you about, it's worth fighting for? Oh my God, this was so much worth fighting for. When my city told me, no, Derek, you can't do this without a license. When certain family and friends said, Derek, are you crazy? You gonna start a housing program, bro, with no license and without buying the place, Derek? You must be a fool. Y'all gonna hear the same stuff, but will you stop? Will you quit? Somebody put in the chat, it's worth fighting for. And some of y'all don't even know it right now. You gonna find out after, but let me tell you, as somebody already on the other side of it, it's worth fighting for. Where would I be today if I had not taken that step, T. Sims? I would still be on that job, hating it, going every day to a job that don't appreciate me. I almost don't appreciate it because I'm mad that I'm there. Come on, guys. Most of y'all, I'm speaking your whole life right now. Like, you don't like your job or your coworkers, and you've been feel like you've been called to something greater. So never stop learning. Guys, I got a private group that's 16 cents a day. It's $5 a month. It's called the ILF Elite. Both of my master classes that I taught on the ILF model and how to be an HRA, housing referral agent, is in that group for $5 a month. And the easiest way to get into it, you just text the word 5 to the phone number that I'll put it in the chat. 407-326-0086. If you text the word 5 to this phone number I literally just put in the chat and on screen, that's how you sign up for the 16 cents a day group. The I is probably my most favorite letter out of all of this. Qatar, you heard me say this over 1,000 times probably. Because for most people, sis, that's where it starts at, Jermaine, in your mind. You got to imagine and hold the thoughts of what something would actually be like if it came true. How many of y'all can imagine having your first place? Put number 7 in the chat. If you do not have an ILF right now, can you at least imagine it? Because if you can't, let me tell you, that's your first step. Your first step is imagining that this is actually possible for you. And with me telling you that there's no license required, you don't have to own the property. Like, what's stopping you? Those two things stopped me for 9 years on my job because I thought I needed a license and I thought I had to own the dadgum place. When that girl said, Derek, I don't own these places. Derek, you think I own these houses? I said, yeah. She said, no, I don't. I say, really? And when she would never let me go see it or take me to it, I snuck there my own self. And that's bad English, but y'all, I snuck to all of her places because remember, I was the social worker, so I knew where to go. And when I saw the rats and the roaches and the filth and the grime and 3 mattresses stacked on top of each other, with no pillowcase, no sheets, no comforter. I was like, wow, man, this is crazy. And she made $41,000 every 30 days doing this. Tess, can you see why I asked that question now? If you made 41 grand a month, would that change your life a little bit? You got to imagine it. The O stands for opportunity. I would look for every opportunity to make my dream happen. And again, one of those is joining us 7 days a week, 3 times a day. You choose your slot or join all 3, 7A, 7P, 11P, right here on our YouTube channel, 7 days a week, 3 times a day. We're hard to miss. And network is the one that people often kind of skip over. This whole business, y'all, is built on relationship. If you don't build relationship, this business goes nowhere. This is a great business. It pleases God and it helps people. But if you don't meet people, prime example, God bless me, Sunday morning, our church had this event outside and everybody, we had communion outside, food trucks, bunch of fun, family time, business, all of that. How about I sit right next to the director, here's my bunny ears, the director of the Salvation Army here in Orlando. You think that was a coincidence or God said, you know what, Derek, I'm going to sit you right here and I'm going to plant the lady there because I'm going to make her sit down but before you do. Because I'm around helping and setting up and helping the team. So by the time me and Shay sit down, the first thing the lady said, well, hey, sir, how you doing today? I said, great, ma'am. How you doing? Glad you here. This your first time? She said, well, I come from time to time, but found out you guys were doing this. She said, by the way, what do you do? You seem real busy here. No, she just saw me do 1 or 2 things there, but my favorite question, and Shay will tell y'all this, if we out somewhere in the open, Shay will tell you most times I'm a kind of a crab in a shell. I'm not super outgoing. Now, it's hard for y'all to believe that when you hear me running my big mouth here. But if you take me to a party or to a social gathering and it's not about business, I'm the biggest fly on the wall. I don't talk to nobody and I'm ready to go. But if somebody make a mistake and say, sir, what do you do for a living? Ding, 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 ding. Here I come. Because I love the opportunity to talk about what we do, how it pleases God, and how it's saving my community in which I live in. Which is what some of y'all have a problem with. You don't know how to explain this. That's why my coaching, 75% of my coaching is verbiage and language and who we say it to. And I say that so much, I'm going to put it on the t-shirt. 70% of my coaching you is verbiage, language, and who in the world are we saying that language to? Because if you say the wrong words, wrong verbiage to the wrong people, they're going to send you down a rabbit hole because they're going to think you want to open up a group home, and you don't. Not under my coaching, you don't. You don't want to open no IDD or no ALF. We want to start an ILF which does not require a license or a $30,000 sprinkler system. Does that make sense, everybody? The difference between the ILF and a group home, I don't need a license for the ILF. I don't need a staff for the ILF. I don't have to bathe people, feed people, or give out medications. Those are the three things that'll get you in trouble, land you in jail, or the Channel 8 News. Because those requirements are for group homes and ALFs because of the population in which you serve. We serve people that are completely independent. Two of y'all put in the chat right now, Derek, what does independent mean to y'all? Can two of y'all type in the chat right now, Derek, what does independent mean for you? Independent mean for us is that Jerome can cook his own bologna sandwich. Mr. Tyrone can also bathe and feed himself. And Miss Shirley, she provides her own transportation through Uber, Lyft, her cousin, her mom, her dad, JC Christopher, anybody but me and you. Me and your job is too important to be driving people around. We trying to save the world. JC says, what days do you meet? Every day, 7 days a week. 7 days a week, 7 p.m. You come right here and we'll change your life. God and I will change your life, JC. And if you're real smart, right, depending on where you're trying to go, first step, I lead everybody to that $5 group. But if you know you want the coaching, you skip all that and you get the one-on-one coaching, or at least the ILF Collective, which is our group coaching. So if you're super new to us, as you guys are listening, you guys can go to forstonconsultants.com. That's Forston, forstonconsultants.com, and see all the packages that we offer. So I got everything from free to $35,000. You get in wherever you fit in. 7 days a week, right here for free. Group coaching, one-on-one coaching, DIY, and I got a legacy coaching that's $35,000 where we do everything and give you the keys, including the property. That one is the only one I got that you got to sign up for and be approved for. You just can't write me a $35,000 check. That's a whole process that goes into that one. But if you want to see what we offer, go to forstonconsultants.com. But I'll tell you right now, this YouTube channel is what changes most people's lives right before they get into one of the coaching plans. Most people come to the YouTube channel, soak this up, and blow it away. They then move from that to our $5 elite group, which is 16 cents a day. And then most people right after that choose either the collective, the DIY, or the one-on-one coaching. And I got coaching on and whole scripts about which one of those fits you the best. You're going to choose my coaching according to your learning style. If you're somebody that can come here 7 days a week and just pick up the game like that, you don't buy none of those. You just come here. But if you said, Dick, I need you to hold my hand, bro. Like, I'm a little hard-headed and I don't get it right away. That's me. I'm like that. Like, I'm a little bit of a knucklehead myself, right? So I'm not somebody that can hear you coach on something one time and take off running. That's not my learning style. I want you to hold my hand, right? People like Jermaine in the chat, who's very bright and smart. Jermaine don't need one-on-one coaching. Let him tell it. He does really well with just the DIY. And he's always here 7 days a week. So how can he go wrong with this? Because the DIY's got the same coaching that you would get one-on-one. It's just all recorded, pre-recorded, and given to you in a portal. All the coaching, all the curriculum, all the paperwork, the tools you need, the website, build out your business phone. Even our DIY has all of that. So you guys will get in where you fit in. Are we making sense so far, ladies and gentlemen? So if you new and you just joined us, all we're discussing is independent living in a shared living environment that requires no license, and you do not have to own the property. For most of y'all, you should be like celebrating and running around your living room right now because you thought you had to own the property. You thought you needed a license. You thought you had to take a bunch of classes and jump through a bunch of red tape. Not so. and it's because of the population that we serve. Let's take a real quick break, guys, and we'll be right back. The first step to getting started with your own independent living facility is texting the phrase "more info" to 407-326-0086. One more time, if you text the phrase "more info" to that phone number, we're going to give you an immediate text message. You fill out your name, email address, and phone number, and we're going to send it to you instantly to watch it with you and your family or you and your team. And then if you have questions, we want you to join us 7 days a week on our YouTube channel so that we can learn and grow together. But if you think that you want to move forward with one of our coaching products, we'll also speak to you by phone just to make sure that you understand fully what you're getting yourself into. And again, it starts with our webinar. So text "more info" to the phone number 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success. All right, we are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to jump right into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is shared rooms or private rooms. So big shout out to Tia Johnson. Tia Johnson, are you here tonight? I want Tia to shout me out because I want to give credit where credit is due. Tia Johnson, if you're here tonight, shout me out before I finish this slide. I want to show the people who you are, where you're located, and give you credit because this is Tia Johnson's ILF, guys, in Polk County, Florida, in Haines City. Now, lucky for me, I'm originally from Haines City, Polk County. So we're all of my Polk County people. So big shout out to Tia. Tia only does private rooms. And that's why I brought this picture up to make this really make sense. And I'm going to do a little bit of teaching from this. Let me teach you right now that when you guys open up your own independent living facility, every call you get, most people are going to want that private room, but most people can't afford it. So the private room for us looks like this. And it also got a bathroom in it. Now watch this. Actually, let me reword that. The private room is the room that looks like this without the bathroom. So Johnny has a private room, but Johnny still shares the hallway bathroom. Johnny doesn't have a roommate like this guy that may be in a room that looks like this. So put a number 1 in the chat if you can see my pictures on this screen, because y'all know I'm not very techy and Shay ain't here tonight. So if I think I'm showing y'all something and I'm not, I'm going to be embarrassed. How many of y'all can see the 2 sets of beds on this screen with those 2 beds? Now, for me in Orlando, Florida, these beds are $800 a piece. So for me, I am $1,600 per room, Ashley. So Ashley White, Tia Johnson is a little different from me. Tia Johnson only does private rooms, which means nobody in Tia's house gets a roommate. Does that make sense, everybody? Now watch me break this down. Because of what most of us pay in rentals and leasing the property, we got to do 2 beds per room to make the numbers make sense. Tia is blessed, if I can say this, Tia has worked so hard, y'all, her whole life. She's got a great job. She's got a bunch of entrepreneurship endeavors. Tia bought a house, y'all, one day and paid it off. Tia is in that top 2% of people that I coach that has no mortgage, no rental fees, and no overhead. I'm going to say that one more time. And if 10 of y'all smart, can 10 of y'all say, "Congratulations, Tia, I want to be like you when I grow up"? How many of y'all want to be like Tia Johnson and own a property clear and free? Or sometimes they say free and clear, meaning you have no mortgage. The only money Tia is paying, if I'm wrong, she'll tell me, is her taxes. So Tia Johnson said, "Derek, you know what? Derek, I know you teach that 2 people per room, Derek, but Derek, you also taught me, Derek, less people, less problems." Jermaine, you ever heard of that song called "More Money, More Problems"? I got one called "Less People, Less Problems." Tia was so smart, Katara. She said, "Derek, you know what? I have no overhead. All of this gonna be profit. Derek, I'm gonna do what you said, bro. I ain't doing 2 people per room, bro. Cause Derek, you said if everybody get their own room, Derek, what are we fighting over? What are we fighting about?" And I don't see enough congrats to Tia in that chat. How many of you all would want to be like Tia and own your property outright? Guys, I own property, but none of them are free and clear. I pay mortgages on those places. So congrats to you, Tia, and thank you to everybody that realized like what a goal that is, what an accomplishment that is. So watch this. For me to explain it one more time, most of y'all won't be able to do this because your landlord gonna be greedy and he gonna want a bunch of money from the rental agreement. So under my coaching, I want you to put 2 people to every room in there because it's not going to make sense for you so much. Now watch me show you something. We got a lunch and learn coming up in Orlando, Florida, where I'm at. Usually when I do a lunch and learn or all these speaking engagements, I do it away from where I live in your city. This time I'm bringing y'all to my hometown. So guess what I'm going to do when I bring y'all here? I'm going to let the VIP people view maybe 2, but 1 for sure, ILFs while you're here. And I want to show you all what is it, and probably 2, because I want to show you one we own and one we rent. In fact, I'm gonna let Shay know because I probably gonna want to do 2. Usually we show people the one that we bought. I may do 2 this time. If 10 of y'all, no, if 35 of y'all put 2 in the chat, that's how I'm gonna do that probably. I'm gonna not only do a lot of teaching, but I'm going to give an ILF tour of an active ILF that's ran by Shay and I, a women's facility that's a nonprofit, and then mine, which are men, which is an LLC for profit. Does that make sense, everybody? So one more time, most of my rentals are so expensive, I can't afford to do 1 person per room because one of my rules are the math has to make sense, ladies and gentlemen, or if not, you running a homeless shelter, and that's not what I teach. I want you guys to be paid for the great work that you're already doing in the community. I don't want this to be free. Does that make sense? So when you offer a room like this, and everybody put in the chat right now, where are you located, city and state? Because where I am, these beds are $800 a piece. Where Tia lives may be a little bit different. Tia, can you tell the people, Tia, what do you charge somebody for a beautiful room like this that's got a beautiful bed, beautiful blackout curtains, beautiful chair, accent chair, if you allow me to say accent chair. This place is beautiful. Tia, what do you charge for 1 person to be in this room? Give people your insight from Polk County, Haines City, Florida. I see Macon, Georgia. I love Macon. We also do wholesale in Macon. I own property in Warner Robins. Who was that in Macon? Michelle Westbrook. I'm your new big brother, sis. Welcome. I love Macon. We own property in Warner Robins, and we wholesale and do business in Macon. Okay? Detroit, Michigan, love that area. Atlanta, Georgia, we're coming there this year. Virginia Beach, we'll be there this year. In fact, it'll probably be Richmond, Virginia, if Tiffany Henry allows us to come. Big shout out to Tiffany if she's here. Put in the chat where you guys located. So can y'all see what Tia put? $960 with the bathroom. Now, Tia, do me a favor, Tia. Can you show my new people, Tia, how will we explain that it's $960, Tia, to the case manager when we divide that $960 by 31 days? Tia, show my new people, Tia, what that $960 looks like when we advertise it. When you bring out your calculator, Tia, and put that $960 divided by 31 days. Somebody put that in the chat. Because that's how I taught Tia to really advertise it. She telling y'all $960 because we family tonight. But her social media probably says $960 divided by 31. Tia, show the people what you would tell a social worker what we would charge by the day. Because if you ain't listening, I just gave y'all a genius marketing strategy. I don't tell people I'm $960 a day. Excuse me, $960 a month. Tia says I'm $25 a day. Or my favorite phrase to say, ma'am or sir, we're under $26 a day, which the worst hotel in your city right now still want $89.99 and it's got bed bugs and roaches in it. This is why we're a no-brainer, ladies and gentlemen. So we offer kind of what the price is by the day. Even though we're charging monthly, we're still letting people know what is this thing by the day if we break it down. Because watch this, y'all. When I'm talking to a social worker or a case manager, I literally say that. I say, ma'am, the worst hotel in this city is $89 a night. Here at Second Chance, my program, Ma'am, I'm under $23 a day. Ooh, that make a lot of sense. Can 10 of y'all say, Derek, that make a lot of sense, bro? Or if it don't make sense, put your opinion in the chat. But that's work for us when we broken it down, because now the social worker says, wow, Derek, you got a point there, bro. You're right. That Motel 6 and that raggedy hiatus hotel or motel, they're $70 a night. Yeah, I know. I done my research. That's why under our coaching in this model of housing, guys, you're going to be lower than the worst hotel in your city. So I'm giving you right now your marketing strategy. Steal that from me. Say, hey, guys, what if your program is called Credos Foundation? Here at Credos Foundation, we're under $24 a day compared to the raggediest hotel in the city. And then when I show them pictures like this, Teal, oh, I'm a no-brainer now. 10 of y'all put in the chat, Derek, this is a no-brainer, bro, when you explain it like that. If you really mean it, put in the chat no-brainer, which is a new business for us that I'll tell y'all about next week. It's called No Brainer Solutions. Anyway, 10 of y'all put in the chat no-brainer. If what you're hearing is a no-brainer. Tess, does this make sense? Michelle Westbrook, does this make sense, or am I just jabbering? The Jordan family in Philadelphia, like, does this make sense to you all? This is how I walk into every hospital in my city and tell them I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Because I'm comparing it to something else that's what they're looking for. Guys, when I realized that one day, and I'm going into some masterclass type teaching right now, like, that's one of my major marketing strategies. One, tell you how bad the local motel is, and two, show you that I'm under $25 a day. Oh, I hope this makes sense to somebody, Katara. Somebody gonna miss it. But most people that call your phone, that 2 people per room, 80% of your people gonna be able to afford this. Now, Tess, when they call that phone, they're gonna say, hello, thank you for calling Tess Solutions. How can I help? He gonna say, hey, Miss Tess, I saw your Instagram post, and I want one of them private rooms you got. Yeah, because my auntie kicked me out last week. His income only gonna be $600. You charge him probably $750. So a lot of times we find ourselves having to educate people on what they can afford. Watch this. Everybody you house, because of my experience in this, most of them smoke cigarettes and they drink coffee. And they want that cell phone every month. So I'm educating them on, hey, Brian, you can't afford that private room because you want to keep your cell phone on, right? You got your little girlfriend and y'all want to go to the movies and to the little park thing that costs $8 every time y'all go. You want to smoke your cigarettes and you got to buy your coffee. I know you're going to use your food stamp card for, the food, but bro, you smoke 8 packs of cigarettes a month. You can't afford that and not be able to smoke your cigarettes. Now, if you want to stop smoking, I'm all for it. Let's do it. And you can afford this. He said, no, bring it. Not my cigarettes. So sometimes, guys, I turn from the housing provider to the counselor that's educated on what he can afford with the money he gets through SSI, SSDI, or the job he got at McDonald's, Walmart, or Burger King. Make sense, everybody? Let's take a real quick break. I want you guys to hear from Jermaine Mills, who says, Derek, I don't need your one-on-one coaching, bro. Give me that DIY and let me take off running.
Hey, everybody. My name is Jermaine. I've been with Derek and Shay for about 4 months now. I got my first property within a month and a half or so of being under that coaching. I have a 6-bedroom house. I got all the rooms filled already. I'm charging $800 a month. You guys do the math on that. Derek and Shay don't like to talk about the money, but me, I'm a numbers guy. But the coaching is fantastic. Like, you will not lose. You will not lose. Please make the decision. Getting this coaching, whether it's the DIY or the one-on-one coaching. If you can do it with the DIY without talking to Derek every day, then go for it. But if you can do it and you need somebody to hold your hand and you need to call Derek whenever you need him, then I suggest you get the one-on-one coaching. Yeah, it's been the best decision of my life, man. I'm telling you, like, get with it, and get ready to fire your boss, cause it's gonna happen. Thank y'all. Peace.
Big shout out to Jermaine Mills. Jermaine, are you here tonight, big bro? I want to just shout you out personally, man, and just say great job on all that you're doing, and being a great example for people that may not either can afford the one-on-one, or maybe they're like you, Jermaine. Maybe they say, Derek, like, why would I give the one-on-one when I know how to move at the speed of instruction? I know how to move at the speed of revelation. So you're the kind of person like if you're like Jermaine, you're somebody that I'll tell don't get the one-on-one coaching if you know that Derek, I can follow instruction. Derek, you're telling me you're gonna give me everything your one-on-one people get. The only difference is I can't call you. Yeah, my one-on-one people can call me. Jermaine can't call me. My people that are in my group coaching called the collective, they meet with me every 14 days. In fact, they got a meeting, I think, in 2 days from the day. And what's cool about that, my one-on-one people also join that. So if you're in my I Love Mastery Blueprint Collective, I'm in your face every 14 days for group coaching. How can you fail and you got God in your back pocket and me in your front pocket, or vice versa, right? I don't know how you want to put us, but if you got God in this first and me and my family, and you put the work into it to make it happen, how can you fail? In fact, that was one of my quotes to God when I was praying. I said, God, I'm going to trust you that this thing going to work and I'm going to leave my job. Because you showed me a lady that don't care about people and she was making 41 grand a month. God, how can I fail if you are who you say you are and you let that lady do it? And here I am today coaching it all over the world. So one more time, let me slow that down. In other words, I say, God, I know you don't have like favoritism over people. You allowed a girl to mistreat your people and make 41 grand a month. And God, I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it that way. And God, I'm struggling making 28 grand a year. I say, God, the first thing I'll do if you let me get in this, I say, I'll go all over the world teaching it and I'll never take any credit. I say, God, I won't tell the people that I'm a genius. I say, I'll tell the people that is you and you partner with me. Does that make sense, y'all? God ain't gonna come on this earth and do nothing. He partners with man through you to be the blessing. Oh, I hope that makes sense to y'all. And if you real smart, we turn right back around and give him all the credit. I put a post out today. I bring the blueprint, you put the work in, and when you blow up and make this thing happen, we give God all the credit. God, guys, that's my whole life. Most of y'all think I'm a genius, and I am not. I told y'all, Shay tricked me to go to college, barely graduated high school even before I get to college. And through the grace of God, I did better in college than I did in high school. Made the dadgum dean's list. That was crazy. But more importantly, I saw the vision for my life from that job. But God was so good to y'all, he said, I don't want y'all to go to school for 4 years like I sent Derek. Just sit your butt down and listen to Derek and follow him, and you skip the line of going to college for 4 years. How many of y'all back in y'all clubbing days, y'all stood in that VIP line because you didn't want to stand in the line? Now, I'm going to just talk to me and Jermaine right here because maybe the ladies won't get it. Jermaine, I don't know about you, bro, but back in the day, if you was a guy and you was in the regular line, even the women looked at you the wrong way, like, man, he cheap, or man, he can't afford to be in this club. Bro, I always took the VIP line. I wanted people to look at me different. I wanted to get in faster. I wanted the advantage of skipping the line, Jermaine. Why stand in line with all the what we call the peons when I can go in the VIP line and get on in the door? How many of y'all took the VIP line back in your clubbing days? Because y'all don't club now, right? I hope y'all don't. Them days are over with. Jermaine, you remember them days? Katara, I know you a good lady, but Katara, I know you went to the club a couple times in your life. You probably went to the VIP line. Tia, I know you, Tia. You didn't stand no regular line, Tia. You was VIP. Skipping the line is the cheat code to life now if we can do it legally. I'm showing you guys the legal cheat code to start a housing program with no license, no home ownership, and no $30,000 sprinkler system. Journey to Journey said VIP me. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you miss half the fun standing in line, y'all. Anyway, Tia, they ain't gonna. Tia, I hope somebody getting this tonight, Tia. But one more time, shared rooms or private rooms, most of y'all that fall under the coaching or this model, you're gonna do the shared rooms because also I want you guys to maximize your profit. Now, I gave an example earlier of how Tia's able to do that because her house is paid off. I gave you another example of how one of my houses, well, actually, a lot of them are so expensive in rent, I gotta do 2 people per room or the numbers won't make sense. I want you guys to profit. The other side to it, prime example, one of my houses is a 4-bed, 2-bath, and is only $1,800 a month. That's really cheap for where I live in Orlando, Florida. I'll always keep that house as long as the guy don't sell it or kick me out because that's just a heck of a deal, and he never changes the rent. And he's my only landlord that if I call and say, hey, man, the AC ain't working, he sends somebody the next day. Now, most of your landlords ain't going to be like that. God has blessed me with one of them. And it's a 4-bed, 2-bath, and it's $1,800. Watch this. That rent is so low. This is where I like to do what I call my mix-up. So 2 of my rooms in there is single. The other 2 is shared and shared. So instead of putting 8 people in a 4-bed, 2-bath, I do 6 people. That's my favorite model now. I take a 4-bed, 2-bath. One of those rooms, a guy gonna be by himself, Tyrone. Another room gonna be by himself, Mr. Jerome. The third room gonna be Jose and Raphael. The other room gonna be Mr. Joe and Mr. George. So I got 6 people in a 4-bed, 2-bath home. That is now my favorite model. So put in the chat right now with just hearing what I just said. Will you do 2 people per room to maximize the profit and maximize the amount of people you can help? Because that's the first thing I should have said, actually. The 2 people per room just allows me to help more people. Now, watch this. I rant and raved about Tia only housing, just say her 4 people. But what if I go get the same house like Tia and I dress it like this and I dress it like that, right? Instead of that, Tia is only helping 4 people, whereas in my model like this, I'm helping 8 people. So if you want to compare me and Tia, I'm making a little bit of a bigger impact and a little bit of more of an income. But watch this. Guess who's probably got a little bit more peace of mind? Tia. Because if I got 2 people in every room, problems can come up. But if they follow your rules and your structure, they're still going to run smooth. But these are human beings and they're strangers from day one. So there can be possible problems. But my rule is this. If I got 1 person per room, what in the world are we fighting about? What are we arguing over? Because most of my private people, they bring their own TV. So nobody's fussing over, I want to watch channel 8. I want to watch channel 2. I want to watch the Good Times movie. Most of my private people that get in rooms like this by themselves, they bring their own TV. Because my rule is I don't put TVs in the rooms. In my double rooms, here's a rule for me. If Carlos want to move into one of these rooms and say, hey, Derek, man, you know I got my own TV, bro. You mind if I bring it? No problem. But if your roommate, John, goes to bed every night at 7 p.m., and you want to watch TV till 12 o'clock at night every night, that ain't going to work for me in that room because y'all going to get into a fight. So in my ILF, I don't do TVs in the shared room unless both people agree. Because if somebody starts fighting and fussing about, Mr. Derek, John watched TV till 2 o'clock in the morning and he never turned the TV on, and I like to go to sleep early. That ain't going to work for me, y'all. So in my double occupancy rooms, no TV unless both people agree. John and Robert got to say, Derek, I don't care about no TV. Derek, I'll sleep through a snowstorm, bro. John can have his TV, Derek. That don't bother me. No problem, because now it don't bother me. But if John go to sleep every night at 7 p.m. and he don't want no TV in that room, neither can Raphael. That's why I got a living room TV for. Now, that's just me in my house. Put a 0 in the chat if you agree with me. put a number 9 in the chat. He said, Derek, that sounds mean, bro. I'm going to let my people have a TV. Put a 0 in the chat if you agree with me about no TV in the room unless they both agree, or put a number 9 in the chat if you think I'm mean, or you would do it a little bit different. I just want to see what you all would think of that. And let's take a break, and I'll be right back. The first step to getting started with your own independent living facility is texting the phrase more info to 407-326-0086. One more time, if you text the phrase more info to that phone number, we're going to give you an immediate text message. You fill out your name, email address, and phone number, and we're going to send it to you instantly to watch it with you and your family or you and your team. And then if you have questions, we want you to join us 7 days a week on our YouTube channel so that we can learn and grow together. But if you think that you want to move forward with one of our coaching products, we'll also speak to you by phone just to make sure that you understand fully what you're getting yourself into. And again, it starts with our webinar. So text more info to the phone number 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success.
Hi, everyone. My name is Faith. I am the founder and owner / CEO of Credos Foundation, located in Hollywood, Florida. I started this journey just a little bit over a month ago. And when I started, I had nothing. I had no property. I had no referrals. I had no leads. All I had was a vision. And my vision was very clear. I knew that I wanted to do this ILF project, and I wanted it to be done the correct way. I knew for me, it was more than just an opportunity to make money. For me, it's a ministry for me. Giving back is a ministry for me. And so I wanted to make sure I did it the right way. The coaching that I've received from Shay and Derek, coupled with the Digital Flow Solution team, has been priceless. I have listened to everything they've told me to do, and I've done it exactly the way they said I should do it. If I had any questions, I would reach up, and waited until I got an answer before I proceeded. Because for me, I didn't want to make the mistakes, like Derek would say, the mistakes that they made. And so as coaches, they're here to make sure that at least my mistakes are minimal, or at least I don't repeat the same mistakes they did. So for me, doing the coaching has been the best decision I ever made. I'm looking forward to my first property in the next 30 days. That's my goal, is to open my first property in the next 30 days. And with this coaching that I'm receiving and my VA that has been on point with my social media and handling all the back end thing, I know for a fact within the next 30 days, I will be opening my first property in South Florida. Wherever God leads, I'm going to go. Thank you, Shay and Derek, for the opportunity to do this and to share with others. Have a blessed one, everyone.
David, I know you're not there yet, but remember I told you to act in faith, and while you're doing all the homework that I told you about earlier, always be looking for a property, whether that's on Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook Marketplace, or word of mouth using your social media. Always be looking for a property, because you just never know when God's going to say, go, it's your time. Yeah, I remember that, but and you won't believe it, but I actually found the property, and it's in one of them HOAs. And see, David, I can tell already you haven't been listening, because that's one of my major rules, is that we never start an independent living facility in an HOA or a community association, because always in the fine print, it's going to say something about you can't run a business inside of here and you can't not sublet, which is the entire model of what we do. Does that make sense?
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank y'all so much for being a part of the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. And again, I'm your host, Mr. Derek. And for most of y'all, I'm your new big brother. So if you've been trying to get into this or thinking about it, just type, "What's up, big bro?" in the chat, because I am now your new big brother. So between God, me, and my family, we want to help you get into this housing model so that not only you can change the trajectory of your life, but also the people that you're serving, okay? And then tonight, we're just simply talking about shared rooms or private rooms. How do you decide that? And for most of the time, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be the financial piece. What is your overhead? How much is your rent, your lease on that place? What is your mortgage? And then what makes sense to you in terms of where do you want your profit margin to be? right? Some people say, well, Derek, if I make $1,000 a month per house, I'm good. Some people say, Derek, if I don't make $3,000 a month per house, I ain't even touching it. Some people say, Derek, if I make $800 a month per house, I'm good. So everybody's got their own level of what they want to make. So even put that in the chat tonight. What do you guys want to make per house? Is it 1,000? Is it 3,000? Right? Because I got houses in all kinds of ranges of 800, which is kind of my bottom threshold. But I got some houses bring $3,000 and $4,000 back a month, right? So whether your house is, full or not, that also goes into that. But everybody put in the chat right now, what is your comfortable profit margin of where you want to be? How much of money do you want to make per month, right? Because the way that I coach it, and if you're taking notes, write this down. No matter where you live at, according to my coaching and the way that we price this, your first 3 to 4 people should pay all your bills. Meaning your first 3 to 4 clients should pay every bill you have. If you're going outside of 4 people to pay your bills, you either pricing it wrong or your place is too high in cost. Or you live in New York, New Jersey, California. I got a couple states like even Washington State, Seattle. I got certain areas where it's just really expensive. But if you don't fall in those expensive areas, if you don't outprice yourself, or hopefully you're charging enough, your first 3 to 4 people should pay all your bills. So the example I gave you earlier with that 4-bed, 2-bath home, if you got beds in there that look like this, by the time you fill 3 of these beds, person 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all profit. So I just told you, if 3 people pay your bills and 5 people profit, and you $700 per bed, you $800 per bed times 5. See where I'm going? 600 times 5 is 3,000. 700 times 5 is 3,500. 8 people times those 5. See where I'm going, guys? That's $4,000. 5 people, 800. Right? So again, keep that in mind if you taking notes. Your first 3 to 4 people, and most of y'all, I'll admit, you're gonna take that 4th person because your first 3 gonna cover the rent. Mr. Jerome, that 4th guy, he gonna cover the lights, the water, the Wi-Fi bill, your insurance. Person 4, 5, 6, 7, or if you got a 10-bedroom, 8, 9, 10, they all profit. And that's how I want you guys to view this when you're looking at it. Okay. So what I want to do right now is I want to take a few questions. I talked a little bit tonight about shared rooms, private rooms, who may want it, who can afford it. Y'all give me the best 7 questions y'all got, and I want to come back and knock every one of them out. Let's take another break. Y'all put y'all questions in the chat, and I'm going to knock them out one by one, and I'm going to get you guys out of here in less than, I'll have you guys out of here by 8:20 or less, I promise.
Most people don't fail because they're broke. They fail because they're not in the right room. The ILF Academy is not another Facebook group. It's the cheapest and most affordable access point to learning the independent living facility model. In fact, my masterclass that I taught, it was over 3 hours and 58 minutes. I put that inside of this $5 group. And if you know anything about me, guys, only my one-on-one people get that kind of coaching. But I'm giving it to you all because I want no excuses this year that you didn't know how to get started. So the ILF Academy Elite is only $5, and I'm going to put the link below. We'll see you there.
All right, we are back. We are back. So do I have any questions in the chat? Let me check. If I don't see none yet, I'm going to go to a commercial break and come back. But let me know if you guys got any questions in the chat.
Hey, Dennis, I was watching one of your replays on your YouTube channel, over there at Forston Consultants, and you said something about paying us as an affiliate if we refer somebody to y'all and they get the coaching, you will pay me. Like, what does that mean? David, do you listen or understand anything we talk about? And yes, that's true. We'll literally pay you for using your affiliate link, that if you drive somebody to us for the coaching and they get it, we pay you 40%. We started that last year. Not sure how long Derek could continue to do that, but David, get in now. Text the word affiliate to 407-326-0086 fill out the information, and you're in. It's that easy. Wow, man. That's a heck of a deal. Because basically, you telling me if I refer somebody to you for your one-on-one coaching, you're going to give me 40% of that.
All right, we are back. We are back. So I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Let's see if we got anything. So when does the ILF group meet? From JC Christopher. So the ILF group, which group are you referring to? Let me know which group, JC Christopher, are you referring to? Because if you're referring to the just like this channel, I'm 7 days a week here, right? If you're referring to the $5 group, that's a group that inside of it, the main reason why people join that $5 group is to watch my masterclass. For as long as I've been doing this, guys, I've never given what I would call such a low tier payment, my masterclass or the HRA training. You had to be under my one-on-one coaching or the collective group coaching to get that. Now that's in my $5 group. So I'll admit, a lot of people will join my free Facebook Academy, the ILF Academy, that's free. Then they'll join the $5 group, which is my private group. And that's like 16 cents a day. And again, guys, the biggest advantage of that group is the ILF Masterclass. And the one I just taught, not even, 4 days ago, that one's going in there. So my team right now is editing that. In fact, it may be there already. I don't know. But before this week is out, the masterclass I just taught just a few days ago, that one's also going in there. And if you don't know me, you don't know this, but I would never normally do that. You have to have my one-on-one coaching or have attended that masterclass to get it. So for the first time in my life and over the years I've been teaching it, I'm letting people get that for $5. And the way you get it is you text the word 5, F-I-V-E, to 407-326-0086. And I'll even put that in the chat as well. Let me know if I answered that too. Somebody says, I joined the $5 group but haven't logged in or used it. Well, what are you waiting on? That's your launching pad, right? So without you having to pay for my one-on-one coaching to get that, like, please log into that. So as soon as you got it and paid for it, you got an immediate email and probably an immediate text. And as soon as you fill out that form or that little, I think it's a contract or a document, boom, instant inside of that group. And I think it tells you to download that Go Collab app to get it. But that $5 group, again, guys, that's why people are joining that. And then also everybody is answering and working together. So that's the other part. You're also in that group with my one-on-one people. So my one-on-one students are in that group for free. They don't pay for that. So you're in a group that has my masterclass and people that are already under my teaching, again, for 16 cents a day. So that's crazy. So probably sometime in June, that group would be $500 a month, right? But if you're in it, you continue to pay $5. It never changes, okay? Maria says that my home is free and clear. Congratulations. You're somebody that's way ahead of the curve, then. You're just like Tia. You won't struggle with people like us who got to go and rent or lease a place or even buy it with a high mortgage on top of our heads. You go in at zero. So congratulations to the Jordan family. Now, the Jordan family, are you guys new to me or have you been around a while? Because if you're new to me, let's get you guys in to decide whether you guys are DIYers or are you kind of the group coaching type or do you want one-on-one coaching? Okay. Someone says you should go ahead and log in and watch the masterclass. You can watch it over and over. Exactly. So it's no limit to it. And again, I've never done that. Long years ago, one time we done something like that, but we put a limit on it. Like you only watch it once. This one, as long as you're in that group, you got access to it. And what's really cool, y'all, and most coaches won't even share this kind of stuff. I will, because I'm just honest like that. We got so many people that says, Derek, I wanted the one-on-one coaching, bro, but I just couldn't afford it. But bro, what you put in that $5 group in them 2 classes, mwah, Derek, I'm literally getting started just from what you put in that $5 group, bro. Thank you. So we get a lot of those too. A lot of I'll call them compliments or Google reviews of people that say, Derek, I watched your $5 group and watched those 2 master classes, and bro, it's changed my life. So if you're new to me, there's one that's called the ILF Masterclass. That's me teaching this, but for 3 hours in a deep way, not YouTube talk. The other one's called the HRA. It stands for the Housing Referral Agent, where 90% of y'all are going to start it. Now, unless you like Neil and my sister that got a house free and clear already, right? Like, you guys are going to start off like most of us. And if I can show you a way to make money and impact without you having a house, that's what I want to teach you. So the HRA allows you guys to do exactly what we do, but you don't need a house. You need relationship. So it stands for Housing Referral Agent. In fact, I got a free webinar on it too, right? So if you text HRA to 407-326-0086, that'll give you, I think that's like a 10-minute webinar that breaks down what that is. The cool part, that same thing that I'm teaching there for 10 minutes, I teach for 1 hour and 40 minutes, same topic, but it's a masterclass version of it in that $5 group. So that's what I tell people. Like, the reason why I brought that group out is for nobody to have an excuse that you didn't have a way to get in. Some people say, well, why he got to charge $8,000 or $10,000? Don't worry about those. You get the one that costs $5. Now, I will admit, this may sound harsh, but I mean this with every fiber of my being. If you feel like you've been called to this and you won't spend 16 cents a day, which is $5 a month, you don't want this. Does that make sense, y'all, for the people that get it? I know that sounds harsh, but if you claim God called you to something like this and you won't find a way to spend $5 a month, you don't want this. And you're the kind of person, I'll admit, I don't even want in that group. How dare you say you've been called to something like that and you won't spend $5 a month, not a week, not bi-weekly, not a day. And some of us spend more than that on our lunch at Chick-fil-A every day. But this thing can change your life for 16 cents a day. So that's my disclaimer. It sounds a little harsh, but I'll admit, y'all, I really mean that. If you won't spend $5 a month, you don't want this. Right? And I respect that. I'm not mad about it. That just shows me you don't want it. Because I know some people don't have $7 grand, $5 grand, $3 grand, the 35 grand package I got. But everybody can find 16 cents in their couch cushion every day. Okay. So that's my disclaimer to that. Oh, and let me add to that. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. You can say ouch or you can say amen. But procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God would give you more time for something he's already told you to act on. Okay, so let's go back to the questions. Let's see. Me'll do double, but you have to get the right people, like people in a shelter. I guess somebody was answering something that she asked in the chat. Me'll, if you do single, you can work with the re-entry. They don't want to share rooms. Yeah, I think you guys are just answering something from Maria. Somebody says, Lori says, Derek, thank you. I'm going to try the $5 a month, then try to start my healthcare business. I will swindle out of 25,000. So to start really like the $5 a month, I feel more comfortable then. After I get my business started, I can do the $998. Okay. The $997 one, I think is you're referring to as the DIY. So that's what Jermaine started with. A lot of people get the DIY, right? In fact, we're coming up on the anniversary of the month of the highest purchase DIY. So last year in March, if I'm saying this right, or my assistant who's in the chat, she'll tell me if I'm wrong, but there was 91 people that purchased the DIY last year in March. And I remember that because it was so many people. I've never had so many people purchase one product in 1 month. And I'll admit part of that is because we did a stupid, crazy like scholarship sale on it. But 91 people, and I know for a fact over 45 of those people are up and running, and they never get to talk to me. But remember, all the stuff is in the DIY, and then they come here 7 days a week. And then a lot of them are still in that $5 group, like Jermaine. Jermaine comes here 7 days a week. He's in the $5 group and bought the DIY for $997. Like, God, that's a no-brainer, right? Like, you can't find a coach with the knowledge we have that gets so much access And like I tell people, if you don't spend a dime, no problem. Just come 7 days a week, 3 times a day. 7A, 7P, and 11P. Guys, I got something for everybody. We're hard to beat, y'all. Right? So next question. Let's see. Let me see. Jermaine, have you gone to real estate investor meetups in your area? So that's Katara to Jermaine. Jermaine, Katara's giving you her cheat code, so I hope you're listening. I'm having trouble finding another house. Can you just give me some tips on where to find private landlords? So that's a good question, Jermaine. So I'll give you some of the regular stuff that I'll probably do something a little different. So my favorite is always going to be my personal social media, and then also my business page. So most of us today, your personal page gets more notice and attention than your business page. So for me, when I'm looking for a house, I post it on both. I say, what's up, Facebook family? Here at Name Your Housing Program, we're looking for our next 4-bed, 2-bath home. If you or you know someone that's looking to rent their property to collect guaranteed rent, that's the secret, Jermaine, wink, wink, guaranteed rent. So if you're taking notes today, y'all, I'm giving y'all coaching. Hit us up. So in your post, Jermaine, I always put guaranteed rent. I'm also going to use things like Zillow, realtor.com, to where I look for the owner, not like a property management company. And again, that same spiel that's in your coaching already, right? In those videos is how I'm going to approach that with the verbiage. But my personal page is where I'm going to start at on social media. And I'm going to do that on what we call Lift, LIFTT, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads. I'm going to post that message every day, 7 days a week. Are you a landlord tired of chasing families to collect your rent and prefer guaranteed program money? Give us a call at Mills Solutions. See where I'm going with that, Jermaine? So I'm going to be saying certain words. I'm going to post it in certain places to get the attention on it. Oh, and watch this, big bro. I'm also going to reach out to investor-friendly landlords. That's where your sister in the chat trying to tell you now. Where you think Qatar get all her properties? From people that do real estate in her city. Investors don't care what you do with that property. But Mr. Charles, when you call him from Zillow, and he's been living in that house for 45 years and raised his children in the backyard, he's a little bit more emotionally tied to that property. Whereas Mr. Travis, he fix and flip properties 4 and 5 times a month. He don't care what you do as long as you pay the rent. 10 of y'all put there, that makes sense, bro. So when I'm looking for a landlord, Jermaine, I'm not looking for the regular everyday person that's tied to the property with their heart. I'm looking for the investor that say, bro, I don't care what you do in this house, man. Just run me my 1,700. 10 of y'all put in the chat there. That makes sense. Like, that's how investors think. I'm an investor. I rent property to people. Guys, now, so to speak, I don't care what them people do as long as they don't destroy the property. That's what I mean by that, y'all. Let's have some common sense, right? No destruction of property, pay the rent. Those are my main 2 rules, because if we can do that, everything else I can figure out. Because if you pay the rent and don't destroy the property, you my kind of tenant. And that's also how I'm looking for my next landlord. And my social media sound like this. Are you a landlord tired of chasing the mom and dad and her 4 kids to get your rent every month? We have a program that'll change your life that pays guaranteed rent. You sit back and kick your feet up, sir. Go to Jamaica on me while we pay this rent through my program. Yo, that's what my social media sounds like. One of the houses that we're going to end up touring when we do the ILF tour in Orlando, Florida coming up soon, guys, that guy got this same spiel. I said, sir, you know what's different about me from most people that rent your house? Sir, I run a program that pays guaranteed rent on time, all the time, and sometimes early. Woo! I'm giving y'all the verbiage. Oh, I hope this makes sense. Guys, if you didn't know, we are the trademark owners of the independent living facility model. I'm not just real smart and learned this. I've lived through it. I've been through the mistakes, the bumps, the bruises, the lawsuits, and the Channel 8 news. I embarrassed myself. I embarrassed my family, all to get it right so that y'all don't have to go through the same mistakes. Ever heard that scripture that says, write the vision and make it plain? So that when the Jordan family reads it, so that when JC Christopher reads it, so that when Ashley White reads it, she can run with it. Ashley, why would you fail like I did when I'm your big brother now? Why would you end up on the Channel 8 news unless they're celebrating you when I'm your new big brother now? You won't make the mistakes I did, Ashley. Why would you if I'm your brother? And I come here 7 days a week spilling it. Did a masterclass less than 4 days ago that went for hours. That's going to be inside of my $5 group. That's how much I care about y'all this year. I said, Derek, what can you do this year, bro, that if somebody can't afford your coaching, your DIY, your collective, your one-on-one, I said, man, I'm going to come up with a group, and I'm going to charge people something so stupid that if they don't get it, I know that they don't want it. I said, what can be, and my team said, well, $30 a month. And the other team said, well, how about $97 a month? I said, y'all ain't getting it. I said, I want to make this price so stupid low that people feel bad about it if they don't get it. They said, well, Derek, what about $27? I said, see, you still don't get it. One more team member said, Derek, you give a lot of value, and you charge people thousands of dollars for that information in your other package. Let's at least do $17, Derek. I said, no, we're not. I said, you guys don't get it. I said, I want to give life-changing information for pennies. That if somebody say, well, that boy Derek, man, he don't really share nothing, we can call him a liar. So I say, guys, forget about 17, forget about 10. I said, we ain't even doing 9. We ain't even doing 7. I said, guys, I want to charge $5 a month, and I want the main highlight to be the masterclass and the HRA masterclass. And then for those people to work together with my one-on-one people and other like-minded people that would invest 16 cents a day. Guys, I got 25,000 people in that free group. I think there's like 400 and some people in the paid one now. But that's what I mean by that. Everybody's not going to take that leap. And that's why I told you guys, the people in the $5 group, I'm going to build something with them. You guys get the overflow of the referrals in your respective cities, not that free group. But just like I told the lady the other day, I said, ma'am, if you do nothing else but pay the $5 and just watch the 2 groups, I don't care if you don't talk to nobody, interact with nobody, you get in there and watch that masterclass. That's what you're paying for. And remember, it's the ILF masterclass and the HRA business in a box. The housing referral agency course, which teaches you how to get started without a property. How can you use just your cell phone in relationship to make impact and income? That's what the HRA teaches. So please go in there and watch both of those and watch it change your life. Or if it don't, call me a liar. Your risk is so low, and that's why I did that. You don't got to buy my $7,500 course. My one-on-one coaching. You don't got to buy the legacy at $35,000. You don't even got to buy the DIY at $997. Spend $5 on yourself first. Allow me to prove myself to you through that masterclass. Not that I have to, but use that. Because I got it, y'all. Between God and me, we got it. And the God in me is why it's so great. Not because Derek is just all that in a bag of chips. I'm just smart enough to know, y'all, that it's not about me, but it's the Jesus in me. Does that make sense? And just like most of y'all, I'm a knucklehead in my own right. I got a bunch of problems too. I got a bunch of things to work on, just like a lot of y'all do. I'm not perfect. I'm a pistol in my own right. Y'all believe me on that. Okay? But you know what? You can't take from me. I love God. I love people, and he's allowed us to use real estate to cause it to be a ministry. And I'm good at that. I can teach it and I can do it. And together with God's help, we can change your life. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I'm going to take probably 3 more questions, and then I'm going to get you guys out of here. Does that sound okay, everybody? 3 more questions. I'm going to get you guys out of here.
Dennis, would you happen to have like a list of things that you did wrong in the beginning when you first started your independent living facility. Like, what kind of mistakes that you made? David, that's actually a great question, right? Even coming from you. I wrote a book that's entitled How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco. And in fact, David, it's the 12 dumbest mistakes that are ever made. And because I didn't want other people to make them, I put it in a book. So go to forstonconsultants.com. That's again, forstonconsultants.com, and check it out. That's where you can find all of our ebooks, all of our coaching, and more information about live events. Well, I'm going to just have to do that then, because that sounds like a good starting point to me. And then I'm going to come to y'all Jacksonville 31st event. I need to be live around y'all too. That's fine, David, but can I ask what's up with the hat and the sweat across the neck? Like, what's the... If this is your first time ever joining us, first of all, I want to say thank you. Second of all, I hope you're enjoying the content. But probably most importantly, I want you guys to text more info to the phone number 407-326-0086. That's going to give you our introductory webinar that breaks all of this down. And it also gives you a call with someone on our team to answer every question you have before moving forward. Because remember, I don't want you to buy nothing before you have a clear understanding of what this is and how to operate it. So one more time, text only these two words, more info, to 407-326-0086, and you will get an immediate download. You click that, you put your name, email address, and phone number, instant download. After watching that webinar, which is about 55 minutes long, first of all, it's going to change your life. Second of all, make sure you book that call, and then you join us 7 days a week on our YouTube channel right here at Forston Consultants, and we'll see you on the other side of success. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying this show. But just in case if you was wondering, how in the world do we rent these properties or lease them? And what does the conversation sound like that we're telling the homeowner to convince them to rent their house to us? That's one of the biggest things in this business, and I want to give it to you. So text the word purpose, PURPOSE, to the phone number 407-326-0086. And we're going to give you the exact guide to what we say, how do we dress, how do we find them, everything you need to know in terms of to get your first property. We put it in the ebook. And again, it's called The Pursuit of Purpose and Profit. Text the word purpose to 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success. We figured out your problem. You have a great business or a great business idea. You just don't have a website. So visit digitalflowsolutions.net and get the best website in the world for only $97. And then you just pick your monthly plan. Let's get back to the content.
Hey, beautiful people. My name is Tiffany, and I'm the founder and executive director for Upward and Onward Jacksonville, Inc. First, I want to congratulate you for joining the ILF Masterclass, as this is your initial step, your first step for creating impact. So I came under Forston Consultants going on 2 years now, and I love it because their mentorship and their coaching is head on, side by side. They stay with you from the beginning and still now. Even with me having multiple ILFs, they're still providing their coaching, their skills, and their knowledge, and just their support overall. They help with forms. They help with teaching you how to communicate with those property managers for the facilities, and also those social workers, just giving you that extra push, those extra nuggets that you absolutely need to be successful in the ILF community. So I would like to say, come on over. Come over. We would love to have you. And just like my brother and sister stated, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the place for you. You will not regret it. You will love it, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And also with the CRM, don't tell Derek, but yes, I'm still working. He cringes when I say that, but I'm still working my 9 to 5, but only because of their CRM that comes with their mentorship has allowed me to actually still be in a space that I love in my community, doing social work. I am a social worker with doing these things, and also being impactful with housing. So come on over. We would love to have you. Don't think about it. Do not, because you're going to think yourself out of it. But, pray on it for sure. And we'll love to see you over with the ILF family. Talk to you later.
Hey, what's going on, family? Are you somebody that needs some help in your life or your business? Are you somebody that has a lot of ideas, but you can't quite get them out? you probably need a virtual assistant, guys. And again, at $5 an hour, that's an absolute cheat code for you, your life, your family, and your business. Because oftentimes these virtual assistants, guys, can do a lot of what we can't. And they often come with a bachelor or a master's degree. So when it comes to the educational side of it, guys, these VAs are, again, the cheat code to everything that you're probably looking for. Most of you guys have a full-time job, so it's hard to kind of implement a lot of the ideas that God is giving you or the ideas that are in your heart. You should be visiting va101.co to get a virtual assistant that can help you in your life and your business and get some of these ideas out of your brain onto paper and then to implementation. One more time, visit va101.co, not .com, but va101.co, and get a virtual assistant, guys, for $5 an hour. It's the cheat code, and it'll be the best decision that you ever made. I promise. All right, we are back. Y'all heard the guy. Y'all heard all of those announcements. So I'm going to find two more questions really quickly, then I'm going to get you guys out here. And again, thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. You guys have a lot of choices of where you could be. But I hope over the last, hour and 31 minutes that I said something that encouraged you or will help move you forward or gave you some kind of gem or a nugget that'll help you move forward tonight. So that's always my wish, because I would hate that if I just found out that I wasted y'all time, right? So I always kind of tell you guys to try to pull something out of every time when we meet. So if you guys were able to pull something out of tonight, just put a number 1 in the chat. If I said one thing tonight that kind of lit a fire under you or gave you a different perspective, you say, "Ooh, that was cool. I never thought of it that way." Put a number 1 in the chat. I want to just see, because again, I would hate to know that I stayed here for an hour and 30 minutes and wasted y'all time. So I'm gonna take these last 2 questions, and I'm gonna get you guys out of here. Ted says, "Can you repeat the name of the app for the $5 group? I already joined but forgot to download the app." So it'll probably tell you in that message, but it's called the Go Collab app. So in the App Store test, I think it's white background with the blue and pink K, and it's Go Collab. In fact, let me go to it to make sure that I'm not giving you the wrong thing. And thank y'all for those ones in the chat. That always helps me know that I'm not wasting y'all time, that I said something that kind of helped move you at least one step forward. That's always my goal. So let me type that in real quick. Yep, so it's Go Collab, and collab is spelled with a K. So Kollab. So Go Collab. It's a mobile application, and that's what you guys are going to get to download it. And I even heard, and I'm going to struggle with this because I'm not techie, but I heard Shay tell people that you also don't have to have that app to get it, which means I think there's a link that you all get, but don't let me confuse you. But for most people, you guys can get that Go Collab app. And again, that's group is $5 a month. And again, just pay the $5. Now, some people pay the whole $60 for a year. I don't ask nobody to do that. Now, if you want to do that yourself and get it out of the way, because again, $60 is a small amount of money for both of those 2 classes. Because I used to charge $1,000, y'all, just for the replay of one of those master classes. Y'all get it for 16 cents a day. So whether you want to pay for that for the year or the $5 is up to you. I prefer the $5 a month. Just do it that way. Okay. Okay. And somebody said I already have a house. Let me see. 3-bedroom. So the Jordan family says 3-bedroom, and I have TVs on the wall. Okay, no problem. I mean, I know people do that. So the only time that I would not like that if Johnny and Robert starts fighting over the TV, and Johnny want to watch TV all night, but Robert want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. That's a problem for me. So everything is a problem for me if it's a problem. If it's no problem, it's no problem for me. Make sense, y'all? Like, I'm real easy. Like, I'm an easy landlord, y'all. Pay rent on time. Don't kill each other. Don't destroy property. Now, there's a lot in between that, but I'm serious about that. Pay your rent on time, all the time, and early if you got the ability. Don't kill each other. Meaning, don't be fighting and screaming about nothing. And don't destroy property. If we can do those 3 things, I can work with you on everything else. But if you ain't paying that rent, you got to go. If you destroy a property, you got to go. And if you physically fighting people in here, you also got to go. So that's what I mean by, guys, I make this real easy for my tenants. I say, bro, can you live here with other people and not get into fights? Yep. Will you pay your rent on time and all the time and early if you can? Yep. And bro, will you not put your fist through my flat screen TV or through my sheetrock? Yep. That guy can stay with me as long as he wants to, y'all. Because every other problem he's going to have, I can work through it. If the rent being paid, no destruction of property, and that other one. Anything outside of that, y'all, I can work with it. Somebody put in the chat, I can work with that. Right? So let me see. Oh, also, my team told me don't forget to announce this. About a week ago, we announced something that's kind of like a sweepstakes. It was a trivia question, and 3 people answered it correctly. And I told 3 people that if you answer that question correctly, then I would give you, it was some outrageous big number. It's like $3,000 towards the one-on-one coaching. 3 people answered it, but the first person, you're in here tonight. So I don't know if you want me to say it was you or not. So I'll just say it like this. The first person that did respond, my team is just waiting on you to move forward. I don't think you're in our system yet, but if you don't want it, please tell me, because the other 2 people begging for it. So now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But I gave a trivia question last week, and 3 people gave the correct answer. But the person that gave the first answer the first time when we announced it, you're in here tonight. I saw you in the chat. Please give my team your information so that they can send you what you need to move forward. Because if you don't, I want to give that to the next person who actually wants it. So if you want it, please let me know. But if you don't, or I won't even use the word you don't. What if the timing is not right? Meaning you ain't got all your funds together, or this month is a bad month. Please tell us that, because I don't want nobody to miss it because we're waiting on you. So please do me that one favor, and that's it on that. And then Heather says, Derek, can you talk about occupants mail delivery? Oh, I sure can. In fact, Heather, I'm gonna do one better. I'm probably gonna do a video on it. I'm gonna still do it now, but I'm gonna do a video on it because I see this question a lot. And most times the answer that people give, I don't agree with it. And then I'm gonna take y'all answers tonight to see where you guys stand. So in my ILFs, I allow my people, my tenants, my clients to receive their mail there. That's their home, is where they live at, and is where they do business when it comes to their mental health, the mail they got to receive for their benefits or medication, or from out-of-town state family members. I'm also not your mailman. I don't want to check the mail every day and then distribute it, or me keep the key and you calling me every 5 minutes every day because you waiting on something. So Heather, the reason why you're asking that, because you're probably like me, you saw other people have a different opinion. Some people say, Derek, absolutely not. I'm going to get a P.O. box, because if I want to evict them, Derek, if they get mail here, it's going to be hard. No, it ain't. So again, and I want to take a poll in just about 2 minutes here, but listen to this. There's a question that's being always posed about, will you allow your tenants to get mail at your house? Absolutely, I will. I want my people to be able to do business. I want them to be able to get their medications delivered. I want them to be able to get their Social Security check or card or whatever it is without waiting on me, because I'm busy. I got 1 million jobs and 1 million businesses and 1,000 people I serve every day. So I don't got time to play the mailman. So one more time, put a 0 in the chat if you agree with me, or if you say, Derek, bro, they don't get no mailbox key at my place. Derek, I check the mail and I run it. Put a number 10 in the chat if you're that way. 0 if you like me, you want them to get the mail there, or a number 10 if you disagree with that. I want to see where y'all stand. Me and Ashley are just alike. Me and Lori are just alike. Who else says like, hey, like I want to, give me somebody that said, Derek, like, that's wrong, bro. I don't agree with that, Derek. Like, show me who is in disagreement with that. Because if I'm telling Mr. Jerome that, hey, bro, this your new house, I don't want him waiting on me to come check the mail because I'm busy. What if I can't come for 2 or 3 weeks? Because guys, I tried this. I kept the key on me because one of my houses got that box with all the mail with 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. We number 5. And guys, I'm 45 minutes away from that place. And they call every day wanting they junk mail. Now, out of 10 phone calls, 8 times is junk mail. They don't even know it, but they're so anxious to get mail with their name on it, and they're going to bug me half to death. The devil is a liar. I am not your mailman, Katara. Katara, I'm not the mailman. So I see 2 people that's a little different from me. Tess says, Derek, that's baloney, bro. I want to control the mail. Tess, have at it. Synergy Transport, have at it. If you guys want to control the mail, so put in the chat, just tell me why. What would be your reasoning to that? Because usually when I see people give a reason, it's for eviction reasons. Guys, because Jerome get mail at that house, don't stop me from evicting him. Where y'all learned that at? So I just want to see the 2 people that put a 10 in the chat. Not that we got to fight about it, but I just want to see your reasoning why you don't agree like me and T. Sims do. T. Sims says she not your mailman either. In my city, it gives them residency, even no problem. So what? So again, guys, like I'm animated, so I'm loud. I'm not mad, but so what? I want him to have residency, but when he breaks a rule, that don't trump me kicking him out of there. No, excuse me, evicting him. So yeah, I don't agree with your logic. Actually, she says in my city, in my city too. But if he don't pay that rent and I put them eviction papers in, he gonna have to leave, man. So, and this is why I want to shoot a whole video on it. I'm gonna probably do a 10 to 15 minute video on just this. Because again, I want to gauge people's logic of why would you allow that? Okay. Anybody else? Like, who else was that? Let me see. It was 2 people. Test, Synergy, Transport. Put in the chat. Tell me why you're leaning towards like you want to control the mail and you want to be the one giving it out. Because what if you got a house and you got a regular mailbox where you just open and close it? You can't stop Jerome from putting information for your address there. How do you stop that? Right? So how do you stop it? Now, where I grew up at, and now where I grew up at, which my mom still lives there, my mom got a big old mailbox with about 24 spots on it. She number 7, I think. But what about where I live at today, where I got a regular mailbox where you can just walk over there and open it? What stops Mr. Tyrone from when he doing his business, he don't put 102 Main Street Avenue B? Nothing stops him from doing that. So I kind of laugh when I see that, and usually not being funny or mean. That usually comes from people that are not experienced in it, and they're just saying what they heard. Girl, I heard that if you let him get mail there, you ain't gonna be able to get rid of him. Y'all cut it out. If he break that lease, I don't care what kind of mail he get there. He can't live there no more if he ain't paying that rent. The judge don't care nothing about him getting mail there. So y'all, can I tell y'all a secret about Heather? Heather Jones in the chat, she my new friend. Heather like to ask me questions, y'all, that get me riled up. Heather, tell him that your job is to give me stuff that'll make me kind of get loud on them. But when I see people say, Derek, they can't get no mail in my house, really? Really? Why not? So I'm good on that. Last one, Synergy says, I'm not giving out mail, but in my city, state, if they collect mail, they are considered residents, and it's an issue if you have to evict them. How when they breach the contract? And I'll just say this. I know that the rules are different for everywhere where we go in terms of city and state, but I don't care where you live at. When you sign a signed contract, that is binded by the law, I don't care what kind of mail he get there. He can't stay there, y'all, if he breaking the rules. So if your thing say no smoking in the house, no overnight guest, no eating crab legs in your room, no red Kool-Aid left on your dresser, he break those rules, he got to get out of here, y'all. And I don't care about his mail. Yeah, most of y'all just heard that stuff, right? None of y'all have probably lived through that. Now, if you lived through it, you please come on the chat and tell me different. In fact, I'll invite you up. We spinning. We lost. Oh, we're back. Yeah, so as I was saying before, my internet looked like it was about to cut out. And I'll say it again, guys, I don't care where you live in, city and state. If it's a legal binding contract, which your lease should be, with his signature, guys, nothing, that don't, him getting mail there don't supersede the law. Oh, I wish I had my lawyer in here tonight. She gonna come soon. Anyway, I love it. Heather says, I love the passion you have for God and your business. Absolutely. Heather, thank you as well. You always ask a great question that kind of make me go there. So I appreciate that. Heather, Alicia Hill says, I took the mailbox up. I thought you said earlier that they couldn't get evicted easily. No, Alicia, I'm always on that. First of all, like if you run it the way that we do and keep prayer over that place, hopefully, now most of us sometimes will, but hopefully you never have to evict anybody. They leave by your words. Y'all see how loud I am here? I wish I could show y'all how I get with my tenants when things ain't going the way they should. I get all loud and crazy, but I ain't gonna bust a grape. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna put my hands on them, but I can make it sound like it. So 99% of the time, my people lead through the verbiage that I say. Make sense, y'all? That 1%, we did have a guy say, Derek, I ain't leaving, bro. I don't care what you do or say. You got to evict me, bro. And we did that. We went through the legal eviction process and he had to go. So that just shows me again, some of y'all have never even been through an eviction. You're going through horror stories that you've heard of. But if you live through an eviction, to where you've had that problem, I invite you to come live on my stage and let's talk about it. And let's dissect what happened. Because if it's a legal binding document, which all y'all leases should be, especially if it's worded the right way, with his signature and mine, ain't a judge in America that'll turn that down. Okay? All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, guys, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I went a little over tonight. Y'all can blame Heather. I went a little over. I've been trying to keep this thing to 45 minutes to an hour, but y'all allowed me to go an hour and 48 minutes. So I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much. If you haven't followed me yet, make sure you follow me at Forston Consultants on Facebook. Be my friend at Derek Forston. Like literally be my friend. I want to see 55 friend requests today from everybody that was here. And more important than being my friend, when you get there, go and be nosy. Look at what we're doing. Look at what we're saying. Look at how we're attracting the right people to house. Visit my page at Second Chance Housing, which is the name of my program. And don't be a dummy like me and put the word housing in your name. I didn't know that 9 years ago, so that's what I did. You don't do that. I teach you in that masterclass of what should you call your program. Don't use the word housing, home, or living. The bank hates real estate, and I don't want you to go there. They give you a high-risk industry and give you a little bitty, teeny, tiny credit card versus the big card because you chose the wrong name. Don't choose the word home or housing. And I found out, guys, no matter how many times I say that, every time I say that, that turns a light bulb on for somebody. Like even right now, guarantee somebody right now didn't know that. In fact, put a number 8 in the chat if you didn't know what I just said. And that's why I'll always say that, because I want to continue to give the knowledge and the understanding on it. Don't use the word home, living. See what I mean? I just say Lori. Lori, I'm your new big brother. I told you that. Now, Lori was crazy, Lori. Lord, if you'd have met me probably, I'll say 4 years ago, you had to pay me a bunch of money for me even to say that. I only told that to my one-on-one people. Because when you go to the bank, instead of you getting a $1,000 credit card, you get the $25,000 one now. So now my coaching is pennies compared to the advice I just gave you. That's the advantage of having good coaching. You go without my coaching and get a $1,000 credit card. You go with my coaching and they give you one for 20 G's. So now it makes what you paid me look like pennies now. That's called good coaching. When my coaching, the value I gives outweighs the cost you pay. That's the only reason why people buy stuff. I don't care if it's fried chicken. I don't care if it's a course. I don't care if it's a car. The value has to always in your mind outweigh what you got to dish out in cash. And if I, as a coach, don't do a good job of explaining the value in my coaching, you shouldn't buy it. If you sat here tonight and say, man, you know what? I heard this guy for an hour and 48 minutes and I'm still a little lost. I'm not inspired. I'm not encouraged. I feel like this is hard and I can't do it. Guys, I didn't do my job tonight. My job is to inspire, educate, and encourage, to give you the mindset that you can do this. Notice I don't come here and talk about me for 55 hours and how great I am. All my coaching is about how you can get into it, your city, the homeless people in your city, in your state. Oh, that's some good coaching, whether y'all say it or not. Anyway, follow me at Derek Forston. Join that $5 group. And if I prove myself to you in that group by watching those 2 classes, upgrade yourself to either DIY, the collective group coaching, or the one-on-one coaching. I don't decide that, you do. You and your family decide that. But other than that, man, I want to pray you guys out of here. And I want to get y'all out of here in time to go enjoy your family for a little bit of tonight. But also, I want some of y'all to go and talk to God and pray and say, God, you know what? That was pretty cool tonight, what I heard. And if Derek and Shay and that family is supposed to be a part of my journey, God, make the way easy. But if Derek is not supposed to be my big brother and I'm not supposed to get it from Derek, God, remove Derek away from my algorithm, from my Facebook. God, let Derek disappear from me if he's not to be what you sent. But God, if he be the guy, make the way easy. Does that make sense, everybody? Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown tonight. God, thank you for the ability to give what you gave me and my wife. God, thank you for the want to share it with other people. God, thank you for not having a crab in a bucket mentality. God, I thank you that I want to share it with people the way it changed my life. And just like I promised you, God, if you did it for me, I will go all over the world sharing it and I will never take any credit. In fact, watch me do that right now, y'all. With God, y'all think I'm a genius, but without God, this is all baloney. So God, I thank you for giving me the mind of Christ and the able body to lead your people. And Father God, now everybody that's under the sound of my voice, God, can you help them as well? God, in fact, I want you to help them better than you did me. Somewhere in that good book, it talks about that the students should outdo the teacher. God, I want you to do exceedingly and abundantly above what these people can think or they can ask for in their business. God, give them the mind of Christ and the able body to do what you called them to do. Because God, I believe that procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give us more time for something he's already told us to do. And God, we don't want to be arrogant against you. We want to do your will. We want to help our community. And God, we want to make enough money to feed our family. And we'll be ever so careful to give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. In fact, God, we'll take no credit. And God, today I decrease so that you can increase inside of me. Help me be the best coach and the consultant that I can be. And God, help these people move at the speed of revelation. God, they heard it tonight. They can't unhear it. Wake them up in the middle of the night, God, and remind them that this is the dream that you gave them. But God, give them every resource, every monetary gain they need to make it happen. And God, again, will be ever so careful to give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great. I love you guys like a fat kid loves cake. If y'all agree with that, put in the chat, amen. Stay tuned for the Lunch and Learn in Orlando, Florida. That's going to be going down. We will be releasing the dates probably this Saturday at 10 a.m. live on our YouTube channel. So if you're interested in the Orlando, Florida Lunch and Learn, which will be a in-person meeting, and I'm going to add a tour of probably, well, I'm going to put it this way, one at least, but it may be two ILF that I'm going to actually allow you guys to tour it. And that, I'll admit now, for the event, we'll probably accept about 30 to 35 people. But for the tour, we're probably going to only choose 10 people. I am not bringing 35 of y'all to my ILF. That looks a little weird because my people are going to be living there and I want y'all to interact with them. And 35 people may startle them. So the 10 people that will come, I'll explain this later, but I'll explain to you now that I'm going to tell my tenants that you guys are a part of my board and a part of my oversight. So whenever I do tours like this, remember, guys, I taught you guys that I tell my tenants that I don't run the whole show. I'm not the boss. I answer to somebody. So when they see y'all going to be my boss that day. So 10 people will be allowed for the tour. That'll be VIP. And then we'll have regular admission for people that just want to come to Orlando and have a lunch and learn with Forston Consultants. So type in the chat, interested, if you're at least interested. And then Saturday morning at 10 a.m., right here live on our channel, we're going to release the information and the way for you guys to sign up. Sound good, everybody? Other than that, man, you guys be great. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Remember, tonight at 11. Guys, I'm live 7A, 7P, 11P. So that's 3 times a day, 7 days a week. So tonight, I'll see you at 11, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., and then again at 7 p.m. You guys be great, and we'll see you next time.
If this is your first time ever joining us, first of all, I want to say thank you. Second of all, I hope you're enjoying the content. But probably most importantly, I want you guys to text more info to the phone number 407-326-0086. That's going to give you our introductory webinar that breaks all of this down. And it also gives you a call with someone on our team to answer every question you have before moving forward. Because remember, I don't want you to buy nothing before you have a clear understanding of what this is and how to operate it. So one more time, text only these 2 words, more info, to 407-326-0086, and you will get an immediate download. You click that, you put your name, email address, and phone number, instant download. After watching that webinar, which is about 55 minutes long, first of all, it's going to change your life. Second of all, make sure you book that call, and then you join us 7 days a week on our YouTube channel right here at Forston Consultants, and we'll see you on the other side of success. Let's go. Most people don't fail because they're broke. They fail because they're not in the right room. The ILF Academy is not another Facebook group. It's the cheapest and most affordable access point to learning the independent living facility model. In fact, my masterclass that I taught, it was over 3 hours and 58 minutes. I put that inside of this $5 group. And if you know anything about me, guys, only my one-on-one people get that kind of coaching. But I'm giving it to you all because I want no excuses this year that you didn't know how to get started. So the ILF Academy Elite is only $5, and I'm going to put the link below. We'll see you there. The first step to getting started with your own independent living facility is texting the phrase more info to 407-326-0086. One more time, if you text the phrase more info to that phone number, we're going to give you an immediate text message. You fill out your name, email address, and phone number, and we're going to send it to you instantly to watch it with you and your family or you and your team. And then if you have questions, we want you to join us 7 days a week on our YouTube channel so that we can learn and grow together. But if you think that you want to move forward with one of our coaching products, we'll also speak to you by phone just to make sure that you understand fully what you're getting yourself into. And again, it starts with our webinar. So text more info to the phone number 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success.
Hey, Derek. I just want to ask, what's the biggest benefit of independent living facility?
Well, in my opinion, the best form of real estate is shared housing. That's why we invented the independent living facility model, because we view it like this. Why get one house and rent to one income, right? A family usually, mom, dad, 3 kids. What the ILF model does, it allows you to take that same 4-bed, 2-bath home and take 8 people from homeless to hopeful. That's the benefit of shared housing.
So what's the secret to being so successful in the ILF housing model?
The biggest secret literally that we have, and it's kind of no secret because we always say it, we keep God first, right? We love people and we love real estate. So we live by this thing that says that we want to please God, right? Because we believe that if you do that, man, everything else can just fall in place. We believe in helping people. And that's something that's actually in the Bible. God says that when you do unto the least of thee, it's like you're doing it unto him. We also believe in being respected by our community while we're doing it. When I first started this, guys, nobody knew me. Today, we're really well known, but not because of how great I am. It's because of the housing program that's changing the lives in the city in which we live in. And then the last part about it, I want you guys to make enough money to feed your family. So one more time, we believe in pleasing God, helping people, being respected by the community, but I also want you to make enough money to feed your family. And you can do that while doing the independent living facility model. So just text more info, just those two words, more info, to 407-326-0086. And that's the first starting point.
David, I know you're not there yet, but remember I told you to act in faith, and while you're doing all the homework that I told you about earlier, always be looking for a property, whether that's on Zillow, realtor.com, Facebook Marketplace, or word of mouth using your social media. Always be looking for a property, because you just never know when God's going to say, go, it's your time. Yeah, I remember that, but and you won't believe it, but I actually found a property, and it's in one of them HOAs. And see, David, I can tell already you haven't been listening, because that's one of my major rules, is that we never start an independent living facility in an HOA or a community association, because always in the fine print, it's going to say something about you can't run a business inside of here and you can't not sublet, which is the entire model of what we do. Does that make sense? Dennis, would you happen to have a list of things that, you did wrong in the beginning when you first started your independent living facility? Like, what kind of mistakes that you made? David, that's actually a great question, right? Even coming from you. I wrote a book that's entitled How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco. And in fact, David, it's the 12 dumbest mistakes that are ever made. And because I didn't want other people to make them, I put it in a book. So go to forstonconsultants.com. That's again, forstonconsultants.com, and check it out. That's where you can find all of our ebooks, all of our coaching, and more information about live events. Well, I'm gonna just have to do that then, because that sounds like a good starting point to me. Hey, Dennis, I was watching one of your replays on your YouTube channel, over there at Forston Consultants, and you said something about paying us as an affiliate if we refer somebody to y'all and they get the coaching, you will pay me. What does that mean? David, do you listen or understand anything we talk about? And yes, that's true. We'll literally pay you for using your affiliate link, that if you drive somebody to us for the coaching and they get it, we pay you 40%. We started that last year. Not sure how long Derek could continue to do that, but David, get in now. Text the word affiliate to 407-326-0086. Fill out the information and you're in. It's that easy. Wow, man. That's a heck of a deal, because basically you telling me if I refer somebody to you for your one-on-one coaching, you're going to give me 40% of that. So Dennis, in your professional opinion, since you trademarked the ILF, which is the best population, or probably which is the easiest population to serve when I want to get started with my ILF? Well, if you're asking me my personal opinion, I love the elderly adults and military veterans. They're super independent. They don't usually need much from you. And again, they're just easier. People that are more settled in life, meaning age-wise, they just typically are a little bit easier than your younger crew. So, but I always tell people also, right, choose your population by what your community is dictating. Where I live at in Orlando, Florida, it screams for military veterans and elderly adults, which just so happens to be my favorite.
Hey, beautiful people. My name is Tiffany, and I'm the founder and executive director for Upward and Onward Jacksonville, Inc. First, I want to congratulate you for joining the ILF Masterclass, as this is your initial step, your first step for creating impact. So I came under Forston Consultants going on 2 years now, and I love it because their mentorship and their coaching is head on, side by side. They stay with you from the beginning And still now, even with me having multiple ILFs, they're still providing their coaching, their skills, and their knowledge, and just their support overall. They help with forms. They help with teaching you how to communicate with those property managers for the facilities, and also those social workers, just giving you that extra push, those extra nuggets that you absolutely need to be successful in the ILF community. So I would like to say, come on over. Come over. We would love to have you. And just like my brother and sister stated, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the place for you. You will not regret it. You will love it, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And also with the CRM, don't tell Derek, but yes, I'm still working. He cringes when I say that, but I'm still working my 9 to 5, but only because of their CRM, that comes with their mentorship, has allowed me to actually still be in a space that I love in my community, doing social work. I am a social worker with doing these things, and also being impactful with housing. So come on over. We would love to have you. Don't think about it. Do not, because you're going to think yourself out of it. But, pray on it for sure. And we'll love to see you over with the ILF family. Talk to you later.